So the Lords of the Fallen previews are surfacing and there's a lot to discuss about them, but what I want to talk about in this video is a very interesting tidbit from the YouTuber Zeostorm. I love Zeostorm. Sub to him if you haven't. Now, we already know that Lords of the Fallen is set to stand out in the Souls-like genre for its paralleled universe called Umbral, and us being able to use it for traversal and also as a way to escape losing our progress when we die. But what is most interesting is how it will be used and incorporated into the boss fights as mechanics and techniques to beat them. During his preview discussion, Zeostorm highlighted this when discussing two of the boss fights he encountered, and how players can utilize the lantern to beat those bosses. During the sister boss fight, for example, he explained that the lantern can be used in order to kill a parasite that was hiding in the boss room. Doing so would then activate the boss fight. Then he went on to say that this boss fight was so challenging and that he eventually learned that he had to use an attack with the lantern called Soulfly. This is basically a move where you pull the soul from the enemy to do direct damage, and this was, quote, a pivotal technique that made all the difference in him overcoming the fight. I really appreciated Zeostorm highlighting this because it shows that not only are we going to use the lantern to enter the world of Umbral, but we're also going to use it to trigger and activate boss fights. That's actually kind of cool. It could add some kind of puzzle element too, and hopefully it's not too difficult or gets us too stuck, but it can be unique of an experience even more so on top of what we already have known and what we already will be seeing in the game. To have this influence and incorporated into the boss fights, I think is even better. He also discussed using the Umbral lantern during the fight with this boss called the Bog Lord. He said that the boss was a lot of fun and it reminded him of the curse-rotted Great Wood in Dark Souls 3. We all remember that boss, right? That big-ass hand, big-ass arm. That's kind of what's going on in this fight too. And he said that there's a poison meter that builds up with every attack from this boss. And when it gets completely full, it inflicts us with poison. However, we can disrupt that and avoid that by using that lantern again. Zeostorm went on to say that periodically a parasite will spawn behind the boss and you can see like a trail that leads to it. And if you can kill that parasite, then it will stop that meter from going and activating the poison. So using the lantern clearly is more important than I thought. And I'm learning more about this and I feel like, man, this is going to be interesting because when it comes to Souls-like games, we know that these developers, they do take the inspiration from Software and Dark Souls, but then they also give it their own little twist. And this isn't looking so little anymore. This is looking like a big twist, a big unique part of this game that can be used for gimmicks, and I'm just looking at this like, wow, this can actually be used for good gimmicks. This could be very interesting and worthwhile and probably something that will make it stand out in a good way. So I'm excited to learn more about this. I can't wait to see more about this game. But honestly, we've seen a lot and maybe it's time for me to kind of pull it back a little bit, kind of leave some more surprises for when this game comes out. But even so, no matter how much I've seen, I feel like I want to see more. And I feel like this game is going to be very special. Not just for this reason, but for multiple reasons. But this alone, I wanted to talk about it because it's worth talking about and it's worth noticing, and it's just making me more excited to learn about this game and get my hands on it. I wish I could have been there for the previews. Maybe someday I'll get to that status where I can hang out with the other Souls creators and stuff like that. That would be amazing. But nonetheless, just being able to kind of live through their eyes and kind of see what they went through, and especially with guys like Zeostorm and, you know, the Vatividyas of the world, those guys who explain themselves so well and they really paint a beautiful picture to go along with the beautiful picture we're seeing. And when they let us know that the combat feels good, it feels smooth, feels good for Souls gamers, it feels good for newbies, I'm kind of getting that impression that whether you're new or a veteran, that this game is gonna hit. That's what it's seeming like. I think this could really be the next big Souls game, the next big love letter to Souls. and that's like the best way to describe it, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. So yeah, that's just one thing I wanted to talk about in this video. Let me know what you guys think. If you saw the impressions, you saw some of the previews going on, what stood out to you, maybe there's something else you would like me to talk about, definitely let me know in the comments section. I'm not done talking about this game, by no means, so hit me with it. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more Souls content, more Lords of the Fallen content. All that will be on this channel, and I hope you guys will be there. Sub if you're new. All right, thank you guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye.